This is Friends Season 1, Episode 5, the one with the East German laundry detergent. That has to be one of the worst names throughout this entire series. I'd be shocked if something can top it. This episode has that structure that I was talking about previously, where it breaks it down into 3 different stories, and they pair off everyone within those stories. So you have Joey and Monica, you have Chandler and Phoebe, and you have Ross and Rachel, all paired up kind of in their own little shorter segments.
Oh, Saturday night, the big night, date night, Saturday night, Saturday night.
No plans, huh?
Not a one.
Not even say breaking up with Janice.
Oh, right. Shut up.
I think the best one out of the 3 is probably Chandler's storyline, because this is kind of when you get to see him a little bit more for who his character is, and less of this performing to no one type character. I mean, obviously he's performing to the audience watching it, but if you look at this show like it's reality, which I don't really recommend, but if you do, who is he talking to? He's just talking to the void, making jokes to no one, and he's kind of obnoxious when that happens.
Why do you have to break up with her? Be a man. Just stop calling.
If you want, I'll do it with you.
Chandler's trying to break up with his girlfriend Janice, and Phoebe needs to break up with her boyfriend, so they decide to do it together.
Where are they? Where are they?
This is nice. We never do anything just the 2 of us.
That's great. Maybe tomorrow we can rent a car and run over some puppies.
Ew, I don't want to do that.
Phoebe is able to do it really easy, and they have a very smooth breakup.
I got you. I'm looking. I got you.
What? Did you get me there?
And Chandler is just struggling to do it. He's having a hard time committing to actually having done it after he even says it.
All right. Well, there you go.
Clip still makes me laugh. I think the girl who plays Janice, the woman who plays Janice, does a great job. Growing up watching this, I always thought she was annoying because that's what the show told you she was. But going back and rewatching this again, that actress is great.
Here's the thing, Janice. It's like we're different. I'm like the bing, bing, bang. You're like the boom, boom, boom.
Ow!
Oh, my God!
You see, this is when Chandler starts to become more relatable, because he seemingly can't do anything right. Everything he's trying, he just makes things worse. And that's a quality in a character that people can relate to easily. At least I can. I assume that most people feel the same way.
I hit her in the eye! This is the worst breakup in the history of the world!
Now, this is something that happens in sitcoms a lot, is you have this character who essentially can do magic. So Chandler is kind of stuck in this corner where he keeps making things worse. He's trying to break up with her, but let her down easy and not hurt her feelings, and he just doesn't know what to do. Everything he's trying is just getting worse and worse. So Phoebe goes and talks to her.
How do you do that?
It's like a gift.
And she's able to just fix the problem. You see, the show sets up this impossible situation that is building, and the payoff doesn't happen. There's no payoff. There's no escaping the situation. It's just, oh, here's magic. It's solved. And it's really annoying, especially if you start to get invested into something, when they build something up and then just take it away with magic.
We should always break up together.
I'd like that.
The Monica and Joey storyline, while funny, and it's a funny idea, it's so ridiculous. There's no way any of this would have ever worked.
Hi, Joey.
My God, Angela.
Wow. Being dumped by you obviously agrees with her.
Are you going to go over there?
No. Yeah. No. Okay, but not yet. I don't want to seem too eager. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Spring, Mississippi. That seems pretty cool.
Is Joey wants to get back together with his ex-girlfriend, so he says, hey, let's go on a double date. Or, well, he asks his ex-girlfriend, let's go on a date. And she says, I have a boyfriend. He says, well, let's go on a double date. I have a girlfriend too.
Yeah, well, sorry, Joe. You said let's just be friends. So guess what?
What?
We're just friends.
Fine, fine. So why don't the four of us go out and have dinner together tonight? You know, as friends.
What four of us?
Well, you know, you and Bob and me and my girlfriend, Monica.
So like I was saying, I think this is fine. I don't really have a problem with them doing this. I think it's a funny idea. It's just hard to really, like, find it funny. It's just outrageous, the idea of it. They go and Monica thinks that she's on a date with a guy. Joey's trying to steal back his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend. And the other couple is obviously together. And all this weird stuff happens.
So cute. So, where did you guys grow up?
Brooklyn Heights.
Cleveland?
Ha! How did that happen?
Oh, my God.
What?
I, suddenly had the feeling I was falling. You know what I miss the most about her? That cute nibbly noise she makes when she eats. Like a happy little squirrel or a weasel.
I've got to tell you, Bob is terrific.
Yeah, isn't he?
Oh, it is so great to meet a guy who's smart and funny and has an emotional age beyond like 8.
You know what else? He's unbelievable in bed.
My brother never even told me when he lost his virginity.
Huh. That's nice.
So obviously Monica's reaction is, why do you know that? But her response is, my brother never even talks to me about that. Like, Monica and Ross have a weird relationship. There'll be a few moments throughout the next few episodes where it's like, you guys know your brother and sister, right? Especially, I think it's the next season actually, when Rachel and Ross are together. Monica's like, oh, give me all the details, give me all the details. And it's like, whoa. Anyways, Monica figures it out and they decide, let's split them up.
Wait, come on. You like him, I want her. He likes you.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, if we put our heads together between the two of us, we can break them up.
Goodness, I just couldn't stop laughing at your Norman Mailer story.
Ross and Rachel has to do laundry at a laundromat and she's like doing it for the first time by herself and trying to figure it out. And I feel like she's been there for a long time. Like months, right? Even if not months, weeks. Like she's already gotten her first paycheck. So it's had to have been at least a week or two. She hasn't done any laundry at this point? Like this is her first time going to do laundry?
Oh, excuse me. I was kind of using that machine.
Yeah, well, now you're kind of not.
But I saved it. I put my basket on top.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that your basket?
Yes.
It's really pretty. Unfortunately, I don't see suds.
What?
No suds, no save. Okay?
I can imagine that doing laundry in a laundromat like that, where there's so many people who have to do it. I've been in a few laundromats, but never that full. I can imagine people are crazy, but still, this lady seems extra crazy, right? Like it's not just me.
That's not the rule, and you know it. All right, show's over.
Good news is Ross is extra crazy. So there's that.
Really stupid. But I feel that if I can do this, you know, if I can actually do my own laundry, there isn't anything I can't do.
That does not sound stupid to me. No.
For Rachel, this is more than just doing laundry. It's more than doing it for the first time. It's kind of taking ownership of her life, being responsible for herself and taking care of the things that she needs to do. And so it's like a big step for her.
I'm sorry, please don't be upset. It could happen to anyone, Rach.
But it didn't. It happened to me. God, I'm gonna look like a big marshmallow peep.
But she ends up messing it up. She ends up putting a red sock in with all her clothes. It turns all her clothes pink. And she's really frustrated. She's like, I can't even do the simple thing. I can't. How am I supposed to live? How am I supposed to take care of myself? I'm essentially useless. And it's kind of this theme that has been being hit on the last few episodes and throughout this whole season is, she needed her parents, and she needs Barry, and she needs other people to take care of her. And she's trying to find her own independence, and which I think is a good storyline. I think that's strong. She finally kind of finds her victory, even though she messed up her laundry. She finds her victory in standing up for herself against that woman.
Being clear, this was our car.
Hey, there aren't any clothes in it.
Hey, quit making up rules.
Let go. Come on, this is my car. You know I bought it. You have nothing to do with this.
All right, listen, Mitzi, if you want this cart, you're going to have to take me with it.
I think this is a great moment. I think it's playing off of everything they've built up. It's using her insecurities and giving her this moment of triumph, giving her this moment of victory and overcoming something she's afraid to do and something that she's scared to do. And I'm just, I appreciate it. I think it's well done. I think it's good. What happens next gets a little weird. So Ross has been pining after Rachel for years, and he asks her, I want to ask you out later. In the first episode, she says, yeah, I would be up for that. Like, do that. And he never does. He never says anything. Then she kisses him, and he reacts like this.
I could not have done this without you.
Okay, more clothes in the dryer?
So, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, this is something that he's pursued for so long, and it finally happened, and he just doesn't know how to handle it. His brain just kind of betrays him and shuts down and gives up on him. It's just kind of frustrating as someone being invested in this show of like, not in a bad way, not in like this is a bad show, but like in a frustrating way, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And so it's probably a sign of the show doing a good job, but it's also, you can't frustrate your audience a ton. You'll see that throughout this season or series of their relationship kind of getting exhausting to the point where they finally just, let's take a break from Ross and Rachel for a few seasons, and maybe we'll revisit that at a later time.
Hey, how'd it go?
Excellent.
We ripped that couple apart and kept the pieces for ourselves.
What a beautiful story. Hey, I'm fine, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ross is so manipulative. He is the worst person on this show. Like, I don't think any of the characters are nearly as selfish as he is. All the other characters genuinely care and have, compassion for their friends. Like, they're willing to do almost anything for him. Ross is pretty much consistently selfish throughout. So that's the end of the episode. This episode, is good. There's nothing great about it, nothing terrible about it. A lot of the jokes were somewhat funny. None of them were like offensively bad, but none of them were outstandingly good either. So it's just kind of a normal, fine episode.